This is another IGCSE Cambridge video based on business studies, looking at past paper questions. More specifically, we're going to be looking at the paper 1. I'm going to be looking at the unit 2, HR, and the topic communication. So just a reminder that paper 1 only has a snippet of information for its context. So within this one, there's just a short paragraph, and a figure 1 of their organisational structure. So the case study is based on a company called LEK. They own 80 electrical shops, sells products such as mobile phones and televisions. The marketing director believes offering customers a choice of products helps LEK to be competitive. LEK must use suitable ways to communicate with its customers. LEK's directors are planning a takeover of a competitor. The competitor owns a further 40 shops and operates in the same 4 regions as LEK. So if we have a look at the figure 1 and their organisational structure, we can see the managing director has a span of control of 4 and the different functional directors such as HR, finance, operations and marketing. And we can also see the operations director has another span of control of 4, look at the regional managers, and then each regional manager has a span of control of 20 shop managers. So this question is based on identifying and explaining 2 suitable methods of communication that LEK could use to communicate with its customers. And it's a 6-marker. Now, there's lots of different methods of communication that businesses can carry out. But I suppose you need to consider a few pointers, though, a few things that you should really take into consideration when deciding the method of communication. So the first point is that you'd have to consider, what is the message? What information are you trying to get across? Why is it being sent? So again, you could think about the case study and you could refer to maybe the choice of products that they have. So again, if you have a look at this bit, it says the marketing director believes offering customers a choice of products helps LEK to be competitive. So again, maybe the communication relates to that, and that could be your application or your context. Another pointer is who needs to know this message. Now, the question has told you this. The question is directly explains that the focus of this communication is the customer. And again, how quickly does it need to reach them? That could be a key pointer. Now, obviously, their main objective is competitiveness. So the quicker the communication can get to the customer, hopefully the better for LEK. Now, as I said before, there's lots and lots of different methods that you could consider. You just need to make sure that provides reasoning to make sure it's as realistic as possible for LEK in their situation. Now, I've gone for a press release as my first method of communication. And simply, a press release, all it is an official statement issued to newspapers giving them information on a particular matter. Now, I've already mentioned before, the particular matter could be the launch or the release of a new mobile phone. So again, you just need to provide reasoning why a press release would be an effective method for LEK. So in the first sentence, I'll provide some reason. I put, if LEK wanted instant exposure based on a new mobile phone release, a press release would help raise awareness to a large audience at a low cost. If you think about the newspaper and their customer base, that would be the same customer base that would be obviously reading the press release and accessing the information from LEK. So then I've gone on to develop it further. So I've put LEK would be able to choose and provide detailed information to the newspaper. So they would actually be able to plan what they would want to be published and provide that to the newspaper, which would be then read by the newspaper's readership, and therefore help to raise awareness and increase competitiveness in that region. So obviously, because it's a newspaper, it could be a regional newspaper, it could be a national newspaper. Again, as they're selling to a lot of regions, a national newspaper could be absolutely fine. So then that's one. Okay, it's got reasoning, it's got application, it's got context, it's got development, and that's really the aims of an explanation. So now we have to consider a second method. So the second method I've gone for is, again, I've thought about the context of the mobile phone producer and the fact that if it's a smartphone, as many phones are in today's generation, that they probably have an app or even a website, and therefore that could be another method of communication. So I've provided just a little bit of reasoning as to why this would be realistic. So but as LAK are a mobile phone producer, you could presume they have their own app or website due to the technological aspects to their product. So after my reasoning, I have to offer development. So I put, in terms of development, what it would lead to, what it would ultimately mean for this company in question. I put this would allow internet users to access information whenever they'd like, making it much more convenient for the consumer. It could be argued that this would boost customer service and therefore help competitiveness. So as a customer, if you wanted to if you wanted instant communication, then again, all you'd have to do is go on the website and the information would be there, or they could email. They could many websites today have that instant chat that you could communicate instantly. And again, it all is there to boost customer service and add value to that company. Now, just remember that communication is key. It's really, really important to have effective communication, if that's with an employee or with a customer. If you think about the customer, it does relate to good customer service. If a customer has communication, whether that's during the sale or the after sale, then obviously it's going to leave a good impression of that company. It's going to boost their brand image, and most likely, customer will repeat purchase. If you think about communication with employees, you could consider the boost in efficiency and productivity, because they know exactly what they're doing, they know how to do it, and therefore you'd expect good results. Now there are obstacles to good communication. We could consider obstacles such as excessive information. If you're almost hassling the customer, or if you're giving the employee too much information, then it could have detrimental effects. Other obstacles to good communication may be too little communication. Think about the customer, not giving them enough information on the product, what the product can actually do. Therefore, it won't really sell it to the customer. Too little information to the employee. Again, they won't know what to do within their task, within their role. So you cannot expect the best results. Other obstacles, again, if you think about how global the world is, especially with multinational corporations, you could say language could be a barrier. Even nationally, in terms of different accents, it can be. You could consider other obstacles such as conflict. So that especially relates to employees. If you have employees that do not have a good working relationship, I'm not saying they'll lie, but what they may do is they may not provide the most effective communication. They might not put as much effort in because obviously because of that unstable relationship. So it's really important that you do get communication right, whether it's with the employee or with the customer.